Good evening, all out there in Radio Land. This is Co-op Radio 100.5 FM on the dial, and we are here in the studio with the Wild, and he's got a main tonight. This Jerry Kolowenko, who has decided not to go to Saskatchewan but be here tonight to actually master the dials on the radio, and we have here as well Louisa Jojak. Good evening, Louisa.
Good evening, Jay Hamburger. So nice to see you.
I know. I've known you for many, many years.
Many years.
This is amazing. And I just recently saw you looking very lovely and very beautiful in Love's Labour's Lost at Bard on the Beach.
That's right.
You know, I missed that one, but that means you were in Comedy of Errors, too.
I was, yeah.
That was my favorite of Bard on the Beach. It was fabulous. And I've seen you many, many times on the stage, and you're really talented and really great. And I hope you make $1 million and win a dozen Oscars or whatever.
You're wonderful.
What we want to know is the blue, I think it was sort of a blue or dark blue costume you were wearing in Love Labour's. Did you give it up, or do you have that in the closet at home?
No, I think that's going to go in the Bard Costume Museum. Yeah, Rebecca Sorensen, who designed the costumes, she's exquisite, and she made some beautiful dresses.
Yeah, that was nice. Well, tonight, this is amazing. You are working in the Downtown Eastside, and you're working at the Carnegie?
No, actually, we did a presentation at the Carnegie last year, but this year we're not actually working at the Carnegie. We are rehearsing actually all over the place. Lookout Emergency Aid Society, which has partnered with us, has given us a rehearsal space, which is great, but we weren't able to book any space at the Carnegie this year.
Oh, but did last year, was it part of Heart of the City Festival?
No, so it started last year as a part of Homelessness Action Week, actually. I partnered up with RainCity Housing's Community Development Manager, and we came up with a project that would involve the community and be an arts-based project as a response to a call-out from the City of Vancouver for such a project for Homelessness Action Week. And so Much Ado About Something was born, and that was a piece that involved Shakespearean text and text that the participants wrote themselves about homelessness, community, and belonging. And we did do a free show at the Carnegie last year as part of Homelessness Action Week. And then we did 2 other shows, an almost sold-out show at the Waterfront Theatre on Granville Island. Oh. And then we did a show in Surrey as well. We went to Kwantlen Secondary and we did a community show there.
Wow. Yeah. So, for a Muse of Fire, but for a Muse of Fire.
Yes.
Now, this is... Am I correct? Is this a little bit of Shakespearean text?
This is as well. So this seems to be the 2 themes that we're working with, or the 2 threads that are continuing through our projects are Shakespearean text, and then the themes of homelessness, community, inclusion, diversity, belonging. And those are the 2 things that have now been included in both shows. So the last show was Much Ado About Something, and this year's show, as part of the Heart of the City Festival, is For a Muse of Fire.
So at long last, and well wanted, is entering into the 12th annual Heart of the City Festival.
Yeah, it's really exciting for us. Yeah.
So where, how many performances are you doing?
We have 3 performances, October 28th, 29th, and 30th. They're all at 8 p.m., and they're at the Interurban Gallery, which is 1 East Hastings. Yeah, you know that well.
We're coming in right after you.
That's right.
I was just curious, Louisa. We didn't have any time to talk, but are you setting up lights in there, or?
We are, yeah, we do get some lights.
You're very brave.
But we're finding out all about that the afternoon of our performance. So,
yes. Well, you're even more daring than we are.
we like to run things that way.
Well, we're gonna, but so it's sort of off the cuff almost.
Well, it's
but it's worked out.
Yeah, and I like to look at it. I looked at Much Ado About Something in the same way, as it's a continually evolving. It's like a work in progress, and there's tech elements involved in there. There's text involved. There's acting, all of that. But it's something that's continuing to evolve. So it's not perfection that we're after. It's the experience of the performers and then the audience themselves.
So are we going to hear a bit of an excerpt?
We are, yes. Our amazing 4 of the amazing 12 participants that are joining us this year are standing by to do just the top few minutes of the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, did you write it, or did you get together with, the various gods above and floating around in a cloud and write this, and then it was sort of, sifted down like
it was a very
snow?
Yeah, like snow. That's beautiful. It was a very organic process. The text is all written by the participants themselves. There is some Shakespearean text in there. Some of it is pure Shakespeare. Some of it is adulterated Shakespeare. But this piece was conceived by a lot of discussion on the themes of homelessness, community, identity, belonging, and inclusion. And then I led a series of character developments and then improv writing exercises. I filmed everything, transcribed everything, and then just pulled the dialogue together. And all of the words are the participants' own. And they've created the script.
Well, now I do recognize right off the bat 2 performers: Priscilla. Is that Priscilla?
Priscilla.
Yeah. And Alex. Which is, this is marvelous, getting them back in the groove, or they've been in the groove, but there's work there for them.
They're amazing. All of the participants are just so incredible, and our group involves people who've never been on stage before, and then people who have been on stage before, and I'm just so thrilled and honored that they're all participating.
And you've got Dave.
Yeah.
Dave is in there, and Corey.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so just before we have a bit of a reading, there'll be a PSA, but just so, where does this take place?
So, great. It takes place on the number 20 bus. So the entire play takes place on a bus. And, it hits all the stops from Glen Drive to Carroll Street. That's the last stop in the heart of the City Festival.
Oh, so the last stop is Carroll Street and Hastings.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jay, what we're going to do is I'm going to put on a few public service announcements so people can find out about other lovely shows in Co-op Radio, and we'll be chatting in here and setting things up, and then away we'll go.
Great.
Okay, so
exciting.
The host, or one of the hosts of this show, Wax Poetic, has just walked in to the station. So away we'll go in a couple of minutes.
So what?
Hey, this is Mighty Mike McGee for Wax Poetic, right here on Co-op Radio. Every Wednesday, 2 to 2:30, hosted by R.C. Waslowski and Pamela Bentley. Now, there might be some people out there who might not adore poetry the way I do. In case you're one of those people, you never know. You could tune in, listen to poetry, and a chat live with a poet, and then you might fall in love. So if you're ready for a change of art, then let Waslowski and Bentley lead you to that change. The Cupids of Poetry, right here on 100.5 FM Co-op Radio.
This is Wax Poetic on Co-op Radio, CFRO 100.5 FM.
So what if I write a poem like a song?
Howdy, folks. Tune in every Sunday afternoon from 4 to 5:30 for What the Folk. Singer-songwriters, deep folk, roots music. It's all folk music. Sundays from 4 to 5:30 p.m. right here on Vancouver Co-op Radio, 100.5 FM and www.coopradio.org.
Yes, we're back here listening to Co-op Radio 100.5 FM. It's the Arts Rational. The director, the assistant, the cast are in the studio as we speak. And now I'm going to turn up their microphones and away we'll go. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention. A bus for a stage, passengers to act, and the people to behold the swelling scene.
Lights up on Puck as he blows magic dust into the air.
Lords and ladies, lads and lasses,
Come lend an ear and join the masses of Shakespeare's fans, and thou shalt see his stature of celebrity. Comedy or tragedy, through his work all did see the range and depth of emotion, whether love or hate or just devotion. He set our wheels of thought in motion. 'Tis safe to say for all to see his nourishment of community. The first rock star, one might say, but what would he have thought today? Could he have coped? Could he still see what with modern technology? To wit, we offer your graces thus, a glimpse of life upon the 20 bus.
How now, spirit? Whither wander you?
Over Oppenheimer Park, through the bushes in the dark, the pipes light up to show the way. What a price the pipers pay. I do wander everywhere, swifter than the moon's bright glare.
Either we mistake your shape and making quite, or else you are that shrewd and knavish sprite called Puck. Are not you he?
Thou speakest right. I am the merry wanderer of the night.
Puck blows magic dust again, and a version of Wheels Go Round and Round the Bus plays as each character is seen as if waiting at a different bus stop in different places throughout the theater. One by one the bus stops and are illuminated by a light Puck holds, and we hear from each character.
I weep for joy, once more onto the breach, to sit upon my kingdom once more. Dear bus, I do salute thee with my hand, as a long-parted mother with her child plays fondly with her tears and smiles in meeting. So weeping, so smiling, greet thee, my bus. And you, who break the rules, beware. Pay fare or you're not welcome here.
I wasn't always homeless. My life was great. I was top of the world, traveling, playing in different bands. Then through a mix of circumstance, a couple bad decisions, I ended up living like a troll, sleeping under bridges, the urban nomad. How quickly things can change. The reality is, no one ever plans to be homeless. And some days, well, maybe things will change back for me.
Ah, Musqueam village is right over there. Tsleil-Waututh across the water, and neighboring them is the Squamish. Ooh, wolf, elk, bear, roaming this great ancient forest, eagle soaring high and swooping down to snatch a salmon. Yep, killer whale, porpoise, harbor, seal, otter, halibut, crab, perch, skate. Anchovy and sea urchin. Wild berry, succulent and sweet, and so many sea creatures. Ooh. Slaan, what's taking that darn bus so long? Don't want to be late for bingo, eh? For sale, eh? When I win the 60 million, I'm going to buy that building, and that one too on the other corner. I would build a seniors' housing where they can frolic on a rooftop with a community garden. The other building would be an Aboriginal healing center for former residential school students and foster children and everyone else. Sheesh, maybe a music room and a nap room. I want the Port of Vancouver to give back the land to the Coast Salish people and change it into a park with lots of seniors' housing. I'll have some place to put the old man. Ah, there's the bus. Ooh, roll up for the magical mystery tour. Step right this way.
Why should we keep the law in due proportion, showing as a model our infirm state? Look you my wrongs with an indifferent eye? I cannot mend it. I must needs confess. Will you permit that I shall stand condemned, a wandering vagabond, my rights of constitution plucked from my arms perforce, and given away to upstart upthrifts? Wherefore born I a slave? What would you have me do? I am a subject, and I challenge the law. Attorneys are denied me, and therefore personally I lay my claim to my own welfare stub of free descent.
Is that it?
That's it.
Just a little tease for you.
A teaser.
That's a teaser. We want more, folks. You can't leave us look. What happens?
Come see us next Wednesday night. We'll fill you in.
Trudeau might be there.
So let's. Do we have time? We can talk to our illustrious performers here. So there's David and Alex and Priscilla and Corey. Great. And how long have you all been working together? Say, well, Priscilla, I know, has been at this for years in various different shows, which is marvelous. But how long have you been working together then as a unit? Or as performers?
9 weeks, 10 hours, and 42 minutes.
Great.
Something like that.
Something like that. Great.
Well, as a group, it's been about a year now. Yeah.
We started. So some of us got together at last year, a year ago, for the Homelessness Action Week project, Much Ado About Something. So Corey was part of that, Priscilla was part of that, and Alex was part of that. David is new on board. Woo!
Yes.
Just as of the end of July. So excited. So there's about 7 that stayed on from last year, and then we've got a few more, and so there's a total of 12 right now.
It was like entering a family. They're all so warm and supportive of each other. It was a great thing. It was great to be involved.
Well, theater can do that. So what experience have you had prior? I mean, Corey, have you been in other shows in the Downtown Eastside, or?
No, I just started last year with that project that Louisa was working on, and I was working for RainCity Housing, and I was just kind of mobilizing people to help facilitate the participants from RainCity Housing that would be part of it, and I got hooked, and I can't really stop.
Hooked on theater.
Yeah, I think so.
It can happen, Louisa.
Oh yeah.
And David,
I was lucky enough to, as a youth, to have parents that were involved. My mom was the first teacher on Romper, and my great-grandfather was a famous vaudevillian, so it's in my blood. But I was involved in theater at elementary, right up to UVic. I went to UVic for theater. I was in the Back Alley Theater group for theater sports for a while. I was an extra in lots of movies and film in the 80s, but then you fall off one roof 50 feet and it screws up your whole decade. So I'm just getting back into the swing of things now.
Yeah, no, it's a marvelous read of the Shakespearean lines, and none of that is
actually
easy.
I wrote that one. I wasn't the Shakespearean.
Oh, okay. Well, we could call you Mr. David Shakespeare at the moment. And Alex, a familiar face here.
Yes.
What is your What is your background lately?
Well, you're the guy that actually got me started into theater, which I've fallen in love with. But about 25 years ago, on a lark, I went into your acting class at Carnegie.
Irony.
Yeah. And you handed me Act 3, Scene 3 from Hamlet.
Oh.
Yeah. And it dealt with issues that I had never been able to deal with.
Ah.
And it blew the top of my head off completely. Right. And just changed my life, and now I'm just absolutely in love with Shakespeare, and it's completely transformed me and really improved everything.
Yeah, no, this using of Shakespeare text. I mean, congratulations on the number 20 bus. And Priscilla, what is your background in theater? It's
Okay. Let's see. I don't know, since 2003 with the community play, which emerged me to do and risk myself in exploring other projects that the VMT produced, which was the Downtown Eastside Romeo and Juliet, which was really, it was pretty tough for me. It's hard. It's serious being a clown. And Gina Bastoni was our director, and boy, she's really serious, and she's a great director. And there were various other artists, projects that I was involved.
Well, and Shadow, wasn't it the Shadow?
Yep, and I was involved with the Karen Jameson dance troupe with the Carnegie. And Downtown Eastside Arts Grant. I did photo collage, and a devoted mother from the Wet'suwet'en territory of the Zayu Beaver Clan.
And is your son? Has he dabbled a bit in the theater, or is he onto other things?
More background, I think, like stage, stage crew and whatever.
So. The stories that come forth, I mean, how do you feel using the theater as a voice for homelessness or for the particular issues that are so out there in let's say not only the downtown east side but across the board, in many cities, as well as in the First Nations as well, the issues that won't go away and shouldn't go away until there's solutions of some sort.
I think we've created an absolute romp that's rife with life and resonates clearly all the issues you've mentioned. We talk about the Coast Salish people, the values. We talk about ethnicity. We talk about immigration. We talk about homelessness. We talk about drug addiction. And it clearly shows the tranquil beauty of the human spirit underneath.
So, and how does the group work together? I mean, how often do you meet? These are secrets now, of course, which were brought.
I keep calling, but they won't return my calls.
Yeah. First, we duke it out.
No, we after last year's show, we met once a month, with the exception of the summer months. In July, we started meeting more frequently. So we started meeting once a week, and then in August, still once a week. And I think we upped it as of September a couple times a week. And now that it's October and our performance is at the end of the month, it was like 3 days. And this week it's every day. And I think every day, we're meeting every day. And what's fantastic is that, and so this is why I'm so excited by the commitment of the participants. We were able to get some support for the project to be able to provide some honorariums, and that's what I'm continuing. Like, that is my mission, is to continue to create more support so that we can allow people who want to be involved with this project to be compensated for their time.
Please send in donations.
So your donations can be sent. Actually, if you visit www.creativainternational.com, you are able to donate there.
This is a paid zone.
This is a fair paid zone.
Yeah.
So
This is a what?
A fair paid zone. The bus driver, Corey plays the mean bus driver, and she's always
throw a 20 on our bus.
But now, where there's the name Kate?
Yeah. So Kate de Klerk, she's the executive director of Creativa International. I met Kate when we were rehearsing down the hall from the office that she was working in last year. She became interested in what was going on down the hall, and she came to see our show at the waterfront, and she was really excited by it. And at that point, told me that if I ever wanted any support, that she'd be more than interested. So I had partnered up with RainCity last year. This year, they're supporting us, but not in the same way. So I reached out to Kate, and she came on board. So between Kate and I, we've been, writing all the grants and making everything happen, and are committed to making this project continue.
Oh, well, the grant writing and the struggle to keep a company alive and well, this is something
that we should have a coffee about.
We should have a coffee about. It is without a doubt. It is not easy.
But I do have to say, though, that what has been awesome about this project, since Much Ado About Something, is the support that has poured forward has been amazing, and that it seems like I think the project is such an exciting thing. It's so wonderful to be taking theater and the arts into different communities all across the city and using it as a tool, like a platform for expression on so many different important issues in the city.
I wanted to mention, too, that we're trying to bring Shakespeare into an updated language so that it's much easier to grasp it and enjoy it, because it's so rich, and sometimes it's very easy to get lost in it. So we are avoiding some of the more difficult or outmoded language, but still keep true to the direction.
Well, I wouldn't say avoiding, and I take, and Alex and I differ a little bit, because I don't think that any of the language is actually outmoded. Alex has a very unique style where he, in particular, harnesses the core of what the Shakespearean text is and then riffs on it. So purists might be a little bit offended, but he does it really well. He owns it, and it's awesome. We also have sections in the play that are pure Shakespeare, and the idea is that the language is poetic, and that at its core, there are themes that are timeless, and we enjoy that.
Can you imagine Shakespeare texting to be or not to be? I mean, think about it, right?
In the beginning, I was kind of resistant to the idea of using Shakespearean text in the Downtown Eastside community. I felt like it was pompous sounding and inaccessible to people, and that was because I didn't really understand it. So it's really opened my mind to be part of this and to see how really the text that we've used touches so well on the issues that we're deal with in the community.
Still relevant today.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Still relevant.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, the one nice thing about Shakespeare is that the old boy hasn't put a clamp on how many people can use it. There's no royalties in that sense, because the modern drama stuff it gets very complicated. This is really almost free for the world to use, and therefore it's opened up all kinds of doors. It makes it much easier for somebody to produce and direct. And it does. It makes it truly universal. I mean, some
500 years now. 500 years ago.
I mean, somebody wrote it, but it's out there for you, and you can play with it. There's not somebody who's going to say to you, "Why are you taking this text and twisting and turning it?" There's just not that going to happen unless you get some scholar who, I think that's not going to happen. It just Love Labor's Lost. You brought in Broadway tunes.
We did, yeah. Or 1920s. It was the
1920s. But you're dealing with a play, as you say, 500 years old. I mean, it was written way back. Yeah. So that's what makes it, even gives it a richer context there.
Well, somehow Shakespeare has just been able to really hone in and really, really focus on the internal world of individuals, particularly his later works. And so it really is a way to discover yourself, because it's so rich. In a language, it's actually quite less technical, if you can get some of those so-called outmoded words out of the way.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask, I don't know if you're okay with it, Alex, but if you want to read, he's done this amazing thing with the prince's speech at the top of Romeo and Juliet. And so he, as the transit cop, comes on the bus to break up this sort of chaos that's happening on the bus. And he's taken that speech and he's done some really fun, interesting, and awesome things with it. And so if you're cool with it, Alex, if you want to,
And for a Muse of Fire, correct me, Louisa, is an excerpt from the opening or one of the acts of Henry V?
Yeah, opening of Henry V.
It is Henry V. Okay. So great stuff. But Alex, you're on.
So here we have a transit cop that's coming in to arrest some people on a bus that are partying and just really getting out of hand. So he comes in and it goes like this: "Yo, you folks!" Finds a syringe, the cop that is, and changes his mood into, "You beast that quench the fire of your pernicious aches with purple fountains issuing from your veins. On pain of tickets from those bloody arms, throw your mistempered rigs onto the floor and hear the rulings of your miffed cop. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word, have thrice disturbed the quiets of our buses and made Hastings Street's drugged citizens cast up their grave beseeming ornaments. If ever you disturb one bus again, your fine shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time all the rest depart away. You, Johnny boy, shall go along with me, and you, homeless guy, have paddy wagon. Once more, On pain of fines, everyone go!
Great. And what's that touching on, and what?
Well, that is actually the arrest scene in Romeo and Juliet, where the Prince Aeschylus arrests the fathers of Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
That was a somewhat edited version. There are other words
it's
used
actually,
in the script.
This is the thing. He's done a really fun thing.
That's marvelous.
Yeah. So
wow. So, big question here. Maybe loaded, but has Hastings and Carroll, or Hastings between Carroll and Columbia, has it gotten better with all the hoopla that goes on, or are we with the 10 years of whoever it was in Ottawa, has it gotten a bit worse?
We got rid of that bastard.
Yeah, but I mean, have things improved or what? Because I have a feeling about what I wanted to hear from you. Still the same.
It's still the same.
David says still the same.
Sure, people are still in that $10 turmoil. They got to get the next $10 for the next hit. They're still working for that. But
I'd say there's more old people and more young people.
Yeah, there still is in the East Side. I don't care where you are from. There is a camaraderie and a sense of ownership and to the neighborhood that people do impart upon each other, and there is that neighborhood feeling down there, despite the addiction, despite the poverty, despite the pain. There is the human quality shining through.
Priscilla?
I think since the Bottle Depot moved, it's been more vendors and more dealing. And it's sad to see that some of the elders I know, they sell either whatever they can to make an income because of the pension they get. I think it's like minimum, less than welfare, isn't it?
Yeah, the poverty of seniors has deepened, and the youth aging out of care has that land on the streets has heightened. So those two groups of people, we see the streets flooded with those two groups of people.
So, in other words, there is room for improvement.
Totally.
You bet.
I think that's where I was trying to
through
get at.
art, hopefully we shall prevail.
Now, a couple of questions. Is there music in the piece?
Yes.
Yes! David was singing a little bit of Transit Queen. Like, it was to the tune of Transit Queen, wasn't it? Yeah, we got some good songs.
We have 5 songs.
We got the whole song that gets sung to our bus driver, who's not so nice sometimes. We have a version of ABBA's Dancing Queen called the Transit Queen, which is named after one of our characters. And Priscilla's partner penned this version. What's his name, Priscilla? Mike Richter. So
the amazing
Mike Richter penned a version called Transit Queen. So there is a little bit of a dance number that happens.
Beautiful Mexican song.
And a beautiful Guantanamera. Frida sings some verses from Guantanamera. And Robin Livingston sings 2 beautiful songs. One's called Alas Poor Yorick, and the other song is called Who Am I Really?
Ooh, Tall Robin.
Tall Robin.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is quite the cast. Well, you get old Robin on the stage. You never get him off, though. It's pretty tough.
And that's perfect. He stays on. He's the first one on the bus, and he stays on the ride the entire time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so he doesn't leave the stage.
His character is the wandering minstrel. So just our cast of characters so that everybody knows. We have Puck, we have blind William Shakespeare, we have the mean driver, we have transit cop, we have the storyteller, we have transit queen, we have homeless guy, we have Annie the elder, we have CJ the poet, and we have... Who am I? CEO. Oh, the CEO.
And Gabriella.
And Frida. Yeah.
Oh, Frida.
Yeah.
Now, is Mike on stage? Will he be playing along the sides there?
Oh, no.
So it's not live?
No, he contributes some lyrics for us very graciously.
The lyrics, yeah. So we sing the lyrics, but it's going to be like the ABBA karaoke track.
Well, so now, is there going to be a little tour of this? Are you touring? Because Louisa early on mentioned... you did something in Vancouver and then in Surrey?
Mm-hmm. I feel sure.
We're taking offers at this point.
Yeah, when someone sees this, I feel sure those offers are just going to roll in.
Yeah, I agree. There's potential. The idea was to do these 3 shows and then see where we go from there.
Right. And is there a possibility of doing this or excerpts from it at council in the City Hall.
What a thought.
That's a great idea. Do you want to arrange that for us, Jay?
Yeah, well, you know, we did actually get a signed letter of congratulations from the mayor from last year's show. Like, there's only like 6 or 7 letters that are written for us. That's a special thing.
I think it would be nice if we got to actually take a bus and do it on the bus going to the mayor's office.
That's amazing. Yeah, the bus, that was my dream.
To take a bus.
Yeah, and get on the bus and do it.
Take this bus to Cuba.
Wow.
Or to City Hall.
And let the mayor on as well?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be extraordinary. Or council.
Yeah.
Yeah, put council on the bus.
Anybody who'd want to come for a ride.
There's lots of room on the bus. You just have to stand and hold on for dear life.
You know, also something to remember, there are actually some very powerful economic forces that do want to do something about the homelessness issue, and really do. And this is where we're getting our funding from. And so, you know, there is support there, real support.
Yeah.
No, this is amazing. I mean, the RainCity Housing, Lookout Emergency Aid Society.
The City of Vancouver.
The City of Vancouver. Yeah. I mean, this is marvelous.
BC Arts Council as well.
I love your sliding scale.
Yeah.
5 cents to $20.
Yes, and 20. I was like, don't put that limit on there. It's just 5 cents and up. 5 cents and up. So,
I love it.
But we want it to be as accessible as possible.
I mean, this is marvelous. This is 5 cents.
Yeah.
Somebody said we might be taking cans.
Oh, great! So then we should change our promo there.
Oh, you mean somebody bring in a?
If you didn't have a nickel, you could bring a
refundable can. Yeah. So that would be 5 or 10 cents or 15. Yeah. So it's at the Interurban Gallery.
Yeah.
And Louisa, you want to tell us where that is?
Yeah, so that's right on Carroll and Hastings. It's number 1 East Hastings, so right on the corner there. It's the northeast corner. And it's going to start at 8 p.m., October 28th, 29th, and the 30th. Doors will open at 7:30. Tickets are sliding scale, 5 cents and up. Or bring a can, I guess. Well, I won't make that official yet. I have to check in with my promo, but 5 cents and up. And it's a small house. It's only 50 seats, so come early so you can get a seat, and we are excited to see you all there.
Well, this is wonderful. So it is a house of only. Are you figuring 50?
We figured 50.
Yeah, we were figuring 50, and if there's standing room, you might have standing room if it gets really. But anyway, this is part of the heart of the city. Terry Hunter, Savannah Walling, who are co-producers, and I've been doing it for, my God, now 12 years, which is simply wonderful. And I would say get to see this show. Get to see it.
Thank you.
Yeah, really, really get down there. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful, wonderful. So, David, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And Alex, thank you. Corey, thank you. And Priscilla, thank you very much. Say hello to Michael Richter for me.
I will.
Okay, and Louisa Jojic. Marvelous stuff. This is a great breakthrough. Really, this is a marvelous breakthrough.
Teamwork. Thank you, Jay. Woohoo!